Respected Principal Dr. R.V. Krishnaya Garu, Director Sri G. Mastanaya Chaudhary Garu, Coordinator of this webinar Sri Dinesh Babu Sir, and above all, the mentor Professor Dr. R.V. Suresh Kumar Garu, my faculty colleagues, great learners of today's world, the students of various colleges across the country. A warm welcome to you all for today's webinar on new education policy. Myself, C.S. Kiran Kumar, Associate Professor of Computer Science and Engineering, Chebrolu Engineering College, Chebrolu. Now, what is education policy? What is new education policy? We all have come across many things like so respected Principal Dr. R.V. Krishnaya Garu, Director Sri G.V. Mastanaya Chaudhary Garu, Coordinator of this webinar Sri V. Dinesh Babu Sir, and above all, the mentor Professor Dr. R.V. Suresh Kumar Garu, my faculty colleagues, and great learners of today's world, the students of various colleges across the country. Warm welcome to you all for today's webinar on new education policy. Myself, Dr. C.H. Kiran Kumar, Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Chebrolu. Right, we have come to this level. Now we did a lot many things, like we wrote examinations, seminars, projects, and all. Now, what we did in the past, what are the changes going to come in the coming future? This is what we are going to talk about for the next hour. Now, we are lucky to have Professor Dr. T.V. Suresh Kumar working as Internal Quality Assurance Director, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Geetham University, Visakhapatnam, as our resource person for today's webinar. Now let me introduce Dr. R.V. Suresh Kumar. Mr. R.V. Suresh Kumar is a competent and highly organized individual. He is a committed professional development and acquisition of continual knowledge, my friends. He is a resourceful professional with excellent analytical and communication skills, and active participant of seminars, workshops, and many staff meetings. Dr. Suresh Kumar, a professor of the Department of Computer Applications, has got a very rich experience as lecturer, HOD, guide, registrar, subject expert, examiner, and even to the next level as peer committee member and NAC SSR. So such a great individual to be part of this particular webinar is definitely a great thing for us, for all of us. Now, he worked as a lecturer at various colleges during the years 1992 and 1999. He worked at VR College, Nellore, NBKR Institute, and Sri Vidyaniketani College, Tirupati. He got PhD from Sri Krishnadevaraya University, Anantapur in 1992. He guided many MPhils, and he also produced 6 PhD scholars, and he has published more than 127 publications in national and international journals. He worked as HOD in MS Ramaiah Institute of Technology, Bangalore, for more than 12 years, 12 long years. During this period, he performed all administrative skills tasks like recording of attendance, managing student portfolios, and providing individual assistance to all the student community. So this is our R.V. Suresh Kumar. He also worked as a registrar. He established a unique stage there also. He designed file structures for all administrative units as per the statutory body requirements. He prepared academic calendar and worked as member secretary, academic council. And he is an expert. He is an expert at working as subject consultant for preparing standard operating policy, SOS, in NAC Bangalore. He is also currently as a team TAC, DST TAC member and NAC SSR. Currently, he is a NAC manual committee member for NAC Open University. He has got good skills at carrying out funded projects from DST, CASA, DRDL, DRDO, and UGC, etc. My dear friends, he is also an author. He wrote many books. Some of us are Programming with R in 2017. Programming with R in 2017. And he also wrote a book called as Concepts on Data Mining in 2012. He also wrote us a Programming with Java book, Pearson Education, published in 2011. He also a guest faculty member for many universities, my dear friends. He organized many workshops and mentored many such events in encouraging the rural colleges to get accreditation. That is our Dr. T.V. Suresh Kumar. Now I think it is appropriate to have such a talented and rich experienced persons to talk on new education policy. I feel comfortable and assure you all that we will all have a great session of knowledge in the coming hour. Now, I wholeheartedly welcome our Dr. R.V. Suresh Kumar Garu to enlighten all of us for the coming hour. I hand over the mic to Dr. Suresh Kumar, sir. Thank you, sir. Now, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dinesh, for your kind words. Really, it is a great pleasure to interact on this important topic. I thank the college management, Mastanaya, Director, Mastanaya Garu, and my good friend, R.V. Krishnaya, Principal, and the participants and who are all behind organizing this technical committee. First of all, I thank for long this one. That much is not required because this is a new education policy. Basically, we have to see what it meant for student, what it meant for teachers. As you rightly mentioned, hopefully I will meet this objective within the short period, this 1 hour. But I will try to convince you on important key features from the school education, what exactly happening, because from school education, we have to go towards higher education. Why this happened? So to recollect, before I start the formal presentation, all these are experience for the higher education system in India. If you recollect any one of examples of experience, the better example is Mahabharata. I am not talking about Mahabharata, not as a spiritual this one, but if you look into the King Yudhishthira, initially he had given a forest like Kandava Prastha. He made Indraprastha from that with the help of Sri Krishna, with this good planning, and subsequently he lost it in gamble. While losing in gamble, he lost his not only his empire but brothers. So out of brothers, he first gambled Nakula. Then next story. After some time in forest, when all the brothers went to a pond or lake to drink water, all will die. Then Yudhishthira will go to that, and you may be knowing the rest of the story. But the point here you have to take is, now Yudhishthira, how he got the experience, how he changed his mindset. Now he is not a king. Now he cannot gamble, but one Yakshini, what Purana says, that Yakshini, she poses few questions. If he answers properly, then the brothers will be alive. So in during so many questions I am not discussing. This time, when the question answered properly, The Yakshini asked him to take one alive of one brother. So now the first he takes Nakula only, because earlier while gambling, he protected his own brothers, assuming that Nakula and Sahadeva are another wife's sons. But this time, as a Raj Dharma, he followed Nakula. So why it happened? My interpretation is experience. Because of that experience, he made it very a structured dharma. So this of experience for the past 35 years of Indian education system, where there is a transformation globally, where our Indian education system producing children, where they have to meet the global standards. Global standards. To meet the global standards, it is important for the education system to be revamped. So taking cue from that, Dr. Kasturi Rangan, a top eminent person, really worked very hard. Because the keen objective of Niti Ayog is Mission Takshashila, Mission Nalanda. If you would have heard again in history, the history says that people were coming from several countries to India to for their higher education or education. So this Mission Nalanda University, which we are calling it as now, Mission Takshashila. So they are all feeling that why not? Why not people are not coming to Indian education system? So that is the one of the key of Niti Ayog planning for education. Professor Kasturi Rangan, an eminent personality, really he worked hard. He worked very hard. I have seen his work personally also, how much small office, not like us luxurious CAC buildings, very small office in NAC only he worked. Very small office provided to him. Of course, he used NAC resources. They started collecting from the cognitive thinking of children, childhood education onwards to higher education. So the challenge here is how we are going to mold as a teacher, what is the benefit for student. This we are going to discuss as far as possible in today interactive maybe. Okay. So towards this, you can ask me questions at the end or at the beginning. That is up to you. Yeah. So coming to major topic of today is this one, new education policy. I am Professor Suresh Kumar. Now, a brief agenda for you, how we are growing towards from school education to higher education. Why we have to touch up a brief on school education means there is a change in learning system of student also at this age only. And the research was done terrifically by the Kasturi Rangan team with the childhood researchers. Childhood researchers, they did lot of work for this revised education policy, and he took input, the team took input, and they identified that the cognitive skills such of children, starting from mother tongue to identify the things, asking curious questions. So all these actually sometimes we may not answer, sometimes we may answer. All these problems are there. So the learning levels also they assessed what exactly the learning levels of students. Then based on that, they could identify a proper structure for school education, which we are going to see. Then key features, because of time paucity, key features of our higher education and key changes also I used to mention. But what exactly the institutional restructuring we have to do, in what way it is meant for technical education. In fact, this is a beautiful opportunity for all students, because earlier students were not allowed to take any of programs their choice, any of the courses means subjects, because in India majority universities there will be 30% dropouts in school education, in higher education. in first year, after first year especially. So to avoid that, and there was no reason also, because you would have come across our experience, some students may be good at some subjects, some students may be interested in other subjects. If they are not interested, they may not do reasonably well in a particular subject. So in this context only, they thought that why not we give a scope for them to take up various courses. So with that, directly transforming to a vibrant society in the sense, high quality education in the sense, both are to produce global level skills to marketable of our children and to improve our community and economy. Now, just to brief it, to start with, you would have come across this one. Existing 10 plus 2 structure is modified to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. That doesn't mean it is neglected earlier. They felt that from 9th class to 12th class, that 4 years of school structure is important education element which they have to grow, and they have to be in a position to judge themselves by the completion of 18 years, where they can easily put it to a undergraduate course of for 4 years, where they can choose on their interested subject, interested goals, and ultimately which we call technical as which competency they want to display. So sorry, this some are drawing here, I think I have not doing this one. uh, some drawings are there, yeah. So this is not my drawing, some
Sir,
drawing
sir, please, on the top of your screen, there you have more options, sir.
More option in that.
In that, disable participant annotations.
Disable annotation for others, I have done that. Before that, they have done, I think.
Yeah, okay. Now, click on the pencil mark, sir.
Not required. For me, not required. Oh, to clear it off.
Clear all drawings.
No, it is coming again. Not required.
Just a second, sir. Just a second.
Anyway, leave it. Not an
Okay,
issue.
now try now, sir. Try now.
Because it should not again create a more. Oh, no, still it is there. Leave it. Don't worry. Anyway, we are not allowed. No. Yeah. So the structure would cover ages of 3 to 18 years of age. If the age of 18 years, he is capable. So the first 5 years, in that 5 years, again, they have made it into 3 plus 2. That means foundational state. Here only they have done extensive work on childhood research, what the cognitive skills a child do have. So based on that only they have changed the learning methodologies. So as a teachers here, you must be in a position to change your learning methodologies also in higher education. When they approach higher education, the good old teaching will not hold good, because the teachers, parents, all they should support the changes, because they have studied extensively the child behavior. Based on that, they designed this structure, which may be similar to some US structure, but not exactly. So here next we will see a clear-cut diagram where you can see existing 10 years first standard he will join after 5 plus, completing after 16 years, then he joins plus 2, 18 years. That is the existing system. But as I mentioned, if you see into the right diagram, new academic structure, here if you can see 2 years, class 1, 2, he will come 6th to 8th age, no doubt. But before that 3 years, this Anganwadi, preschool, Balavatika, or what you can call kindergarten in your regular term. Here only the parents also plays major role. So because all this situation happens in mother tongue, so the now government proposed that because of mother tongue, they can express anything. Even higher education also in mother tongue medium on local language. That is one policy. That is why now for engineering teachers, it is more work that if you are capable of translating any engineering subject or any degree subject to local language, that is going to attract like anything. because the expressions will be more. The children will be with kids 3 years plus 2 years. So before first standard, that is called foundational stage. That 5 years, which we are calling it five term, that is foundational stage. See here, if you look into the diagram, right side it is multi-level play activity based learning. That means which we are calling now higher education. We are calling so many experts, which may not be fruitful, because as a teachers we must to be geared up. No expert is required actually. If you nowadays so much material is there, even on this important topic also. So you have to gear up and you have to see activity based learning, the cognitive aspect. That is the fantastic contribution by Kasturi Rangan committee. Childhood, they have clearly mentioned. So from 3 years onwards, it is assumed that the child will be in activity. He expects everything activity. With the play is there, discovery concepts. So such type of quizzes or something, and activity based something. If you are giving, suppose coffee cup, how you make coffee cup, what are the important material required, like that. All this will start from first standard onwards, and there is to be interactive classrooms. So you may get doubt, some college schools that do have, some high schools do. It is now they are the cluster of education. If your school is not having, you can take nearby school as a request, as a consultancy, as a cluster. Same thing for higher education also. So that first 5 years, first 5 stages, foundational stage we call it as, the children must get very clear understanding of learning, how he has to learn. This is the again a warning to teachers that they should gear up for learning methodologies what the students are joining in higher education. Even though the results are visualized 10 years after, this is effect from July only we are including in higher education also. So automatically that will be there. So coming to after first stage 5 years, it is preparatory 3 years, 8 to 11 years. So preparatory stage, that we are calling it as play, discovery, activity based, so many. So from 8 to 11, that means class 3 to 5. In that rectangle green, you can see bracket. I will share it with our organizers. So 3 to 5, class 3 to 5. Class 3 to 5 is 3 years. Age is 8 to 11. So that is called preparatory stage. Earlier it is called foundation stage. Here preparatory stage, as I mentioned, discovery concepts, how to discover innovative things. So that aspects of learning should be there in your curriculum, and activity based in interactive. That means no more one side blackboard teaching. It is a interactive classroom learning. So coming to middle school, it is the age of middle school. It is also called middle school. When it comes to school terms, it is called middle stage. This stage, class 6 to class 8. Here only you observe, it is age is 11 to 14 years, and experiential learning in sciences, mathematics, arts, social science, humanities. So far we feel that humanities are not to be important here, theory subjects like that, nothing. They have to have experiential learning in all the subjects, including mathematics. Suppose if I am teaching particular quadratic equation or particular equation, you should justify in what way it is. You should feel the value of that concept. That is ultimately experiential learning value. So once it is crossed middle stage, that means from the age 6 to 8, if it crosses, from the class 6 to 8, age is 11 to 14. So it is middle stage. Coming to higher secondary stage, that is stage 4. Stage 4, it is class 9 to 12, 9th class, 10th class, 10 plus 1 standard, 10 plus 2 standard. That is 14 years to 18 years. So by this time, they assume that the prediction is that the research says that from Kasturi Rangan team, the student, he is matured enough. So now he is capable of taking different subjects, which we call it as multidisciplinary subject. all critical thinking, problem solving, and it is provided flexibility for student. It is own his choice of subjects. That means a student, if he wants to take mathematics, biology, and a music, it is highly acceptable. Suppose a student take any subjects of his choice, ultimately he is eligible for all. But the point here is how filtration goes on. That is why recent one circular, one statement given, later it is not there. Engineering, mathematics is not required. Mathematics is not required. Okay, that is a debate is going on. But however, the point is not whether the subject is there or not. How competency or achieve in every stages. So here also, if you see, a critical thinking is one learning methodology. So if you observe in summary, the 5 years of first stage, foundation stage, is majority is activity based learning and playing, different plays, multi-level playing. Okay, there is no question of compromising. If you say that some facilities maybe not be there, you have to collaborate with other schools. So first 3 years it is kindergarten, LKG, UKG. That is what we are calling in earlier system also, but now it is brought into our system. So first 3 years over, next 2 years class 1 to 2. Even those who are going to have grandchildren, it will be highly helpful. Who are all going under this revised education policy for class 1 and 2, you should make everything into an activity, everything into activity. Inquisite questioning you on the different topics. Either it may be news channel, or it may be news item, or it may be play or anything. So you are providing in-house also an interactive, so which directly reflects in classroom for their growth, for their cognitive aspects to improve, and it is going to be excellent learning methodology. So another green box is for 3 years, class 3 to 5, as already explained, it is preparatory stage. Another 3 years, class 6 to 8, that is another 3 years, 11 to 14 age is 11 to 14, which we call it as middle school, and 4 years is 9 to 12. 9 to 12, that is class 9 to 12, 14 years to 18 years. Even though earlier it is there, it is changed now with multidisciplinary possibility. Right, coming to the key features. So as I mentioned, the cognitive childhood research projects that every child learns everything from mother tongue only, especially from the parents. So the expression, the understanding level will be high. So that is why they proposed 3 languages by the children. 3 languages by the children. Will be the of choice of states, regions. Of course, implementation, administration, we are not worried about that much. And for higher education, now it is accreditation, funding, all are coming under Higher Education Commission of India. We need not have different bodies. They merged into 7 bodies, which I am not going to discuss, but for interest of higher education, 4 verticals of Higher Education Council is National Higher Education Regulatory Council. It is a regulatory authority. National Accreditation Council, it is not NAAC, it is NAC only. That means National Accreditation Council, they are merging all accreditation procedures. Maybe structure immediately will not be changing, but definitely in future they are proposing to have a single accreditation authority where the process will be handled majority by software. The personal visits will not be there. Even though if it is there, it will be very nominal. So it is to be addressed through software online. Then Higher Education Council, Higher Education Grants Council, like this. So these are the 4. There are 7: medical education, legal education, and standard setting body. So UGC, AICT, they are going to merge with Higher Education Commission. This is a regulatory authority, the norms and regulations. So all these professional councils, Indian Council, Veterinary Council of Agriculture, they will come under professional standard setting bodies. And the research, all the research bodies which we are coming across will be merged. DST, so many are there. DST and we are having some other funding agency, CSIR, there are so many are funding. So there is a common National Research Foundation, like National Science Foundation in US. Here also they are giving to foundation. And the important, now also important, then also important is highly multidisciplinary education. Even research also is projected to be highly multidisciplinary. Now, after discussing with 18 years of age, what will be the undergraduate degree? What will be the undergraduate? Now we are having 4 years, 3 years, all these things. So whatever you have, there is a provision for you to multiple exit option, in the sense, if a person joins in BA, so after 1 year, he can consider, he can quit the college also. He can quit the college. Here, college management must be very alarming, especially this is what I want to project to some of the colleges. We don't know the psychology of the students. After acquiring particular credits, he may quit that. So that is why they established a National Credit Bank. Suppose I am Suresh Kumar, I have completed some first year, some assume that 6 plus 6, 12 subjects with some credits of 36 credits to 50 credits I have completed. It will be stored in my name only. So that 1 year computer science or BA that I can take and I can join anywhere. So if BA economics is the example, or BE engineering, electronics is the example, I join electronics. Still, I think AICT need to prescribe how many courses he has to take to be an electronic engineer. But coming days, it is only highly interdisciplinary degrees. So suppose if it is assumed that out of 168 credits, if I get some 50 to 60 credits of the core electronics, then I can take up any courses. So I will go to any other place. So as a student, I need not take even TC also from National Credit Bank. I can show the credit passes, transformation, and I can see. So if you are interested, you can see National Credit Bank details on Google. So coming to our point, 3-4 years duration with multi-exit options within this period with appropriate certification. Example, after completing in a discipline or field, including vocational professional areas or diploma, or 2 years or 3 years, you can easily go for 4-year multidisciplinary anytime. The student can in his lifetime. Because the assumption is that especially rural areas, the girl students, especially girl students, not that much applicable to boys. Girl students are some second year or third year. They are either by culture or by force or some other reason, they get married and they are missing the higher education. And it is going to make improved gross enrollment ratio in India to 50%. That is why they are going to have multiple exit, multiple entries. So student can choose any of the subjects in higher education. Any sabbatical, you can take other options. So the basic changes what we are discussing. So after discussing the general structure, after discussing the key features, now we see what are the changes happened from traditional. So now universities will be only multi-universities, multi-university colleges with more with not more than single. It cannot be an engineering, because nowadays if you see AICT permits you in your campus, you can have degree courses also, provided what are the sub areas required. For example, you required 2000 square meters of space in your as per AICT branches requirement. You are having 4000. You can have in between also same classrooms or this one. Only you have to show designated AICT. This is the structure. So we are normally moving to multidisciplinary. It is inevitable. So teachers they must be geared up, because multidisciplinary engineering will not go anywhere, because even degree colleges, if somebody want computer programming to learn, so 1 year he can join. So in that situation, there must be cluster of the colleges need to happen. So suppose engineering, degree, arts, science, law, all these clusters may happen in future because of necessity. Because frequently you cannot change your infrastructure, but this is going to happen. This is going to trigger that clustering of this. And medium of instruction, as I mentioned, they elaborately researched on that local language. That is why now Swayam also requested majority of us to transfer all the subjects to local language. So undergraduate education and moving towards faculty and institutional autonomy. Faculty are empowered. There will not be any affiliated system in future, at least 3-4 years after all universities to take a call on this. There will not be any affiliated system, autonomous system. They have to design their own, and faculty do have more independence coming to earlier. So there will be autonomy for faculty to take any decision of their subject. They can offer a better subject, and they can offer even if they are good at faculty of some, they are good at some drawing, culture also, you can include as a subject. You can, sorry, you can teach. So there will be drastic revamping of curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment methods. Here we should spend time. Already we observed that beginning onwards there is a sea change in learning methodologies. So the assessment methodologies definitely cannot be on question paper based alone. Traditionally we are doing question paper only, but definitely it cannot be. So the learning methodology will change, and students also will get benefit of that, because they will be ready for industry ready. So for industry, academia, gaps, it is going on for several decades. Nothing happened towards that, but now students get benefit of, because of heterogeneous nature of the subjects, and with their abilities of learning, they are ready to discover experiential learning, active based learning, problem solving, so many aspects and their cognitive aspects. So they are ready to do projects in team or individual. So faculties need to supply them with them a good resources where they can grow professionally. So the reaffirming the integrity of faculty, institutional leadership positions, or establishment of National Research Foundation. So here generally the concept of governance will go. Faculty, you cannot say that engineering faculty, electronics need to teach only electronics. So somebody will ask in mechanical, I am interested to learn some kind of what you call image processing. So immediately that faculty, so the governance also will structure that, and in turn when faculty changes in the structure of governance, in the way they are doing work, automatically they have established a National Research Foundation for that. And of course, once governing bodies are already formed, once independent autonomous comes, that is why they have kept some rider now that NAC should get A grade, all this one, but in future all this will go also. Even to my understanding, another 3-4 years, there will be sea change. Discussions are going on that there is going to be change in NAC procedures in coming down. I think another next year you can see NAC accreditation procedures change, even though National Assessment and Accreditation Council is empowered for program level also. Nowadays they are doing only institute level. Program level also they are empowered. Mostly they may merge or they may outsource to some professional bodies to assess some universities with restructured framework. So in that case, they will address majority revised education policy parameters only. For example, how many multidisciplinary subjects are there in your total 100 subjects? So they may ask you to put minimum 60 to 70%. Example I am telling, I am not giving you any figure, just a discussion purpose. So such kind of structuring of accreditation may be there with reference to the education policy. So you should be geared up as a faculty. There will be very free. There will be regulatory authorities will be free. You will be free with created rules and regulations. So all this will be free. Minimum within 10 years they are guessing, maximum 10 years, but universities also, whereas we are sitting, because they have given the option of longevity period 10 years, because there are some universities, some issues are there, like Northeast University, some problem where affiliation system facilities are not there. But when facilities are there, I don't think so. It will take more time to get autonomy. Something they will keep either NAC or subjected to NAC grade or something. They will issue autonomy for this one. Another 3 years it will be done, 3 to 5 years in majority states. So increased access and equity and inclusion. As I mentioned, gross enrollment ratio need to be included. Any person can join anywhere, anytime. Gender, they are giving exclusively for gender funding also. Some subjects which are having. So all these are they are giving. There is no question of anybody deprived of education, higher education especially. Anywhere they can join and anywhere. As I mentioned, this will completely avoid dropout ratio in higher education. So what it is meant for institutional restructuring? Institutional restructuring, how it is meant for as I mentioned, by 2040, they are aiming to become multidisciplinary institutions. At least 3,000 or more students each institution. So it is by easily you can reflect, no. That means if any college to have more students, 3,000 students, even any college, don't think about only engineering, any college, automatically gross enrollment ratio will improve. So institutions will get benefit, fee structure, subject, your publicity, your curriculum, your evaluation, everything is a competitive. That means it is highly competitive, plus or minus also there, which is not in the scope of this discussion. There are negatives also there for some colleges, positives also there. So by 2030, one large multidisciplinary in every district. This means multidisciplinary HAE means it is from government side. They don't this one, but now they say that theoretically, private government, there is no question of bifurcation. The funding for research will be same. Any funding, if they meet particular criteria, it is same. But for their point of view, if anybody is fulfilling, they do have high interdisciplinary higher education institution. HEI means higher educational institution in every district. So no rural student will lose anything. So rural student, it is going to be a boon for them till they are comfortable. Even they can happily continue their studies. Even girl students, they need not worry after marriage or before marriage, they are losing the scope of studying further anytime they can study. The degrees to be awarded, you can join even online education also, online distance education and online course, both are there. Two are there, which I will see, will discuss brief after some time. Sorry, next slide. So the aim is to improve from 26.3 points the percentage gross enrollment ratio to 50%. 50% of higher education students, that means out of 100 students, 50 must be minimum higher education. That means they must be graduates by 2035, because it is assumed that India is now more with youth. So there is a equity between two private and public. There is no difference. But as far as public institutions are concerned, public in the sense IITs, NITs, all these are going to be funded by government. Here only problems come from state universities. The state university should equally fund them, otherwise they will be out of higher education policy. They cannot address the issues, they cannot even go with the system. Okay, this is already approved. So a university now is going to be only interdisciplinary institute of learning. That's all. There is no question of other terminology down by 2035. So anyway, if you look into the category, as I mentioned, Mission Takshashila, Mission Nalanda, those days people were coming. Now why are not coming? So they envisaged that with the objective Niti Aayog, in future, there will be one teaching university, there will be only research university, or hybrid teaching and research university, or higher education institutions. Even in higher education institutions, they may be clustered and they called just university. That's all. Every governance is yourself only. They don't, nobody will be governing you. It is independent. So the autonomous degree granting colleges, they will be referred to as a only multidisciplinary undergraduate degrees. And do you feel that it is a highly advantage even in undergraduate if you are awarding majority research subjects? It is called research degree. Okay. That means if it is a primary focus of the institution is only research institution, you can have Bachelor of Research. If it is only teaching, Bachelor of Teaching. So like that, varieties, teaching and learning, all these interdisciplinary possibility. So they are thinking about stage-wise mechanism for granting graded autonomy. But some riders are there. Currently, they are dependent on system of graded accreditation, not graded not like what A plus plus A plus. In doing so, future they are planning to have a binary accreditation. A binary accreditation, that is a different concept where it is a college is accredited or not. So they are going to have that one instead of giving A plus plus A plus like that. Once it is a accredited binary or a binary accreditation appears to be definition simple, but the procedures are some stringent. However, once you are accredited, automatically you are autonomous college. That is the projection discussion going on. Okay. So higher education institute will be free from gradually one category and slowly you should become university. You should be ready for that. You should be ready for that with social community interacting, engagement and service. You should be very much involved in all the aspects. You must very much involved in all the aspects of community. As I mentioned, now it is a wide range because the community people, local people, or various practices, faculty development. You need to support school education is linguistic language. That is why engineering also started with regional languages. First year we can start. Okay, so all this you need to support because you are getting market from that only. Your students are from that only. That is why they projected Kasturi Rangan team. School education you need to support means whenever they require any experiential learning, 9 to 12 especially, you need to have some knowledge center kind of where you can explain them what exactly various various subjects. We cannot call it as a branches. Slowly it may be. They may get astrophysics subject, astronomy, what exactly. So they may visit a college like that, or you may have to visit and support their curriculum for a school education. So now two programs are running in institutions. Now already AICTE recognized distance education and online programs. Online programs are now like our Coursera, where material is available for you. Assignments will be given online. Online only correction, you will be awarded. Like our NPTEL, you will be awarded. Distance education little bit more, you have a mentoring system and you can interact with regular syllabus, whatever it is happening. So nowadays they are contemplating already given 20% of the credits can be through online courses. That means Swayam NPTEL, if you get credits, the students are from 168 credits to 148 credits they can do. This is what on the campus. So futurely that also may vanish, and slowly discussions are going because of this COVID pandemic, this distance learning, how effectively we have to implement. That is why majority higher education institutions are somebody going for blended learning, somebody for a flipped classroom, different methodology. So whatever be methodology, this will project you are going to slowly digitalize your education. So as I mentioned, gradually will be phased out. Gradually it will be phased out. More integrated system, because the projection is even from the first standard, After certain stage, 9th class, he wants to know some vocational education, vocational course, he is eligible to take it. So how it is implemented, implementation problems may be there initially, but by the time it is matured down the line, definitely he can learn winding, plumbing, all these. That is why if you can show 1 year credits, it may be diploma, 2 years credits, advanced diploma, 3 years degree, 4 years with BE research or BA professional degree with professional courses are there. Like that, they are categorizing the undergraduate education. It is see 3 years BA if you complete, if you do a professional 1 year example I am telling, BA will not be there. After first year you can change. So for a professional degree, how many courses required? If you take it, you will become professional. Similarly, engineering going to be demand, because if any degree college, they want to learn computer program, they want to learn digital processing, they want to learn some mechanical lathe, all these workshops. So even more opportunity for faculty. That is why they will be also involved. So once it is faded out, affiliated system, it is going to be a change integrated way. That is why there will be only one nomenclature, university or higher education, only two. Higher education also, assuming that slowly they will become universities. So what it is meant for is, if you see, definitely multidisciplinary, you would have observed that our approval handbook, it is clearly mentioned. It is not limited to here. What is the take lead preparing cutting areas? Now they are offering artificial intelligence, they are giving. Slowly you can offer your own program. You can offer your own program with a different structure. Majors like this, minors like this. Okay. So several, suppose COVID has come, you can say that BTech in virology technology. So it is up to the future down the line. They will give freedom to learn anything, Okay. So ultimately, all these are together for the better enhancement of employability. Employability means not only placement cell, for research, for higher education. So the students, which I mentioned in first slide, ultimately the objective is they meet global standards. So what is happening for us? We have to implement technology in regular education, online courses, digital education, provided you are meeting certain criteria. All professional education will be integral part of higher education system. There is no only BTech engineering or BA. A BA person complete after some time engineering related majors, he can be an engineer. So extracurricular activities will also given more weightage. Co-curricular activities anyway, you are offering online courses, digital education, all these are integrated. So that is recognized already, co-curriculum. Any workshops which we are conducting, essentially 5-day workshop or 30 hours value added course as per NAC. Okay, extracurricular also, NCC, yoga, all they will become your credit courses. So which are part of degree, please understand. These are not our extracurricular activities, and people are struggling whether students can be given marks or not. They will bunk the classes and they will attend. After that, we will not be, sorry, we will not be giving them attendance. Somebody will give. Some indigents, some colleges will not give. So all these problems will be avoided. They can choose any extracurricular activities part of their degrees. This is highly benefit to students. If they have yoga and advanced yoga teacher they will become. They can guide themselves, their health conditions, and they can see. All this will come. So the maturity already there, 9 to 12 class. That way the system evolved. So of course, ODL education online guidelines, some guidelines they will issue. So by that time we have to wait, but some are issued already AICTE for engineering colleges. Now here you can see implementation of National Academic Depository. Entire student details will be there in a particular bank. Now, as majority of you are knowing, PhD theses are available, Shodh Ganga, in government portal. Government portal, our Aadhaar card is available. Similarly, entire the details will be available for entire details, the credit details, their course, when they studied, all are available. That is why anytime they can leave and anytime they can join. No issue on that. If they can prove potential. See, essentially what happens now for students, it is a challenging one. If they complete a particular course or if they want to become a professional, suppose, you will mention some subjects. You should prove competency there. You should prove competency there. A student need to prove competency there. That is why even higher education institution, if you are your alumni after passing also, the higher education institutions do have responsibility to handhold to achieve that competency. Competency is not our program outcomes. Competency is for a particular job. How these subjects are helpful, they will define. You can see, dear students, if any participants are there, Naukri only. You can see what are the skills acquired. That skills, if you acquire, sufficient. So those are the competencies they expect. They are not program outcomes or course outcomes which we are seeing in our regular college. So this National Academic Depository will clearly give you entire your history. ACT is taking many initiatives like startup policy, how you can few students together, they can do wonders. So many are there, they are taking, not just I mentioned for discussion purpose. And important takeaway for technical institution is exams reforms happening by UGC already happened. 2019, they issued a circular. And now after revised education policy, after the governance structure, that means a higher education Commission of India, HCCI, like that, all bodies once it is formed, legal body and medical bodies are separate, remaining all are merged, 5. Some standards they will prescribe, that is third body, National Accreditation, General Education Council. So like that, 5 are there, which I mentioned earlier slide. Okay, so what happens now, these exams reforms, they have already issued a guideline that every student competency to be mentioned. Nowadays, what we are doing, we are having program outcomes. That means what? As given by accreditation body, the abilities after a student participate in a particular program. For example, BTech Electronics, after 4 years on the campus, what are the abilities a student will get to demonstrate he is an electronic engineer? So that is program outcome. Under that, student would have studied some 50 plus subjects of categories, varieties, electives, open electives, like that. But now, these abilities only between program outcomes and course outcomes, whatever, competency. For every course, you should mention competency. For example, there is a IT skills, MS Word, PPT, Excel sheet. So what are competency will get? He can be a data entry operator. He can be a what you call processing. He will be a marketing, PowerPoint, all these tools he knows, IT tools. So like that, some competencies from that subject you have to derive. So there are 3-layer structure. Earlier 2 layers, program outcomes, course outcomes. Now third layer middle is competency. That is why there is a competency based education now, slowly changing. It is also UGC terminology, it is called learners outcome based framework, LOBF. So this is highly useful for students also. Before taking a course, what competency they will acquire, for what job they are suitable. So all this going to come up slowly, incrementally, because there may be implementation problems may be there. Okay, so essentially the point here is for technical also, you have to create a knowledge base in local language also. You cannot deny local language teaching, because a set of people after few years, if they come with mother tongue, if you are unable to provide, we cannot be in the market. In the sense, higher education system. So what exactly higher education thing? It is for discussion, pointers for thinking. skill set. So far, India is going in one education system. As I mentioned in my first slide, the Mahabharata, with the experience, it is now required because of globalization, the skill set of both faculty and students also. Faculty also. It is challenging for faculty, advantage for students. Sometimes students also not clear of the system once it is implemented, but it is a mutual, the skill set acquired, which is to be implemented, how to implement. As academicians, you need to think. Through this only you should bring industry academia sync. That means industry people, any industry, especially in engineering. Suppose if you are offering one course, particular industry, food processing industry, agriculture industry, anybody you can bring. So how to sync them? Now, scope of engineering skill. As I mentioned, 9th to 12th class, there is a possibility for vocational training. So we do have more advantage, sometimes disadvantage. So they may come up with all this lathe machine, initial programming, all this. So we should be very much observable. What are the skills they are acquiring? So what are the engineering skills required after joining? How to address this? What are the things as a technical institution I have to do? Then you have to observe emerging trends in engineering. Because no engineering project is now a single discipline, it is outdated, it is a interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary subjects, what are they happening? If you see, once a Twitter analysis is not there. Now, if you see Twitter, it is highly used for so many things. Sentiment analysis, social networks. And you can see beautiful lectures by eminent speakers, how these social networks for forest fire to stop. What are the mechanisms? They can capture some networks, clusters, from there some inference. Interested, you can browse. So how to address various problems of subjects? Suppose out of 60 students, 30 they want music. 30 they want music. Suddenly you cannot start a music department. Okay, you started music department. Next they want, next year they don't want music. So example I am telling, may not be exact example, may be a wrong example. So what I am thinking is, my discussion point you have to think is collaborative approach. Collaborative approach. And ultimately you should be very think whether it is state of art you are teaching, learning, resources, subjects, all these state of art. This is going to be a demand for all students. Suppose I am teaching a subject, some C programming, which is outdated. Those suppose C++. It is now standard template library is there, STL. That is predominant in industry. So whether I am teaching it or not. If you are not teaching, that fellow will go and join in next college. If you are teaching, that fellow will come and join your college. It is going to be credit-based fees future. If I take 9 credits in our college, how much I have to pay? So this is going to be a challenging one. Advantages are there, disadvantages are there, but definitely the committee, the education policy, researched on all these issues, and they are finding now a methodology for implementing all these what the pointers we mentioned: skill set, academia, scope for engineering education, what are the trends, how to collaborate, how to make state of art, all this. So thank you all, and ultimately it is up to you. If you want any questions, organizers permit, to the possible extent I will try to answer. Otherwise, this way we have to proceed. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, for enlightening all of us. Sir, a small question, sir. will there be any change in college levels, sir? Like we have now a school up to 10th and a college, intermediate college teaching 11th and 12th, sir. Sir, will 11th and 12th be combined or integrated with school education itself, or will have 9th to 12th as a college, sir?
Yes, sir. As I mentioned in my first diagram,
Yes, sir.
the diagram better for a question maybe. The first diagram,
Yes, sir. I know, sir.
there won't be, see, the structure will not yet to how you are administering, whether high school is merged with 10+2. But wherever government schools are there, 10th level, 12th, they are going to merge.
Oh, yes, yes.
They are going to merge. If the trust is having any vocational course,
Yes, sir.
they are also, because 9th to 12th, there will be highly interdisciplinary.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So they are going to merge.
Oh,
It is, as I told, no, definitely clusters are required.
oh, yes, sir.
If they are expecting some missionary drawing or I want to learn, there is a scope for them, yoga to learn, all these addressed. This governance still it is a implementation problem, but slowly it will change. Their projection is another 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
Junior colleges will not be called as junior college. It is all secondary colleges, middle school colleges, like that. Their projection is, but it will happen, sir. It is not a
Thank
big
you.
deal. Teachers will not change, sir. Now we have to learn carefully based on the audience. Audience are now coming with
Yes, sir.
various learning methodologies, various cognitive skills.
Yes,
So
sir.
how we are going to address?
Thank you, sir.
If anything is there in chat box, I have not seen chat box here.
Sir Ramohan sir, you can ask, sir.
Sir, namaste to speaker and other
Namaste
learned
andi,
people
namaste
here.
andi, namaste andi.
Sir, Naki, I've got a couple of points which I put before you for your validation.
Yes, sir.
Number one, the regular school and college education is not cost effective and it's a burden to many of the people, particularly financially weaker sections. That is one thing that I keep it aside. Number two, as we have a shloka in Sanskrit which says that 25% we have to learn through self-learning, before that 25% through guru, 25% through peers, and the remaining 25% in course of time. If we give credence to that shloka, and this NEP also to certain extent subscribes that, strengthens that, more focus on self-education. I propose that 5 days the student, right from LKG to KG to PG, 5 days he should work on his own self-learn through, online books and whatever. And only this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, he should go to the institution to draw further knowledge from the teachers, doing experiment in the science labs to the extent science is concerned, and by the interacting with the peers. Ultimately, my point is that the person should be very much, the student should be very much involved in self-learning, only should depend to a certain extent on the teachers and the peers. And that way, education should be available to all the people at the lowest cost possible. Your validation.
Yes,
on
sir.
this.
First point, it is definitely it will happen. Cost will reduce. See, if you are having high cost, I will take my child from Anganwadi to play class to other school. So it is, you have to sustain your students, even higher education also. You cannot escape from that. So addressing your sloka, I cannot say open meeting, all these are taken into consideration. All Hindu mythology, as I mentioned, you have not observed Mission Takshashila, Mission Nalanda, learning models they have kept. But drastically, it may not immediately change. Higher education changing is very difficult. Egoistic persons are there. Even I am several committees in NAC. Changing is very difficult because I am having a power I don't want to give you. You have to say, boss. See, for example, affiliated system, You observe how many universities are giving free hand to autonomous colleges. They are defying, because they will say that you must keep my textbook, you must keep this much only syllabus, remaining our syllabus only. You have to follow university, otherwise we don't issue a marks card. Problem for you. Nothing problem, sir. It is authority they want. They exploit authority. Cost will reduce, sir. Cost, if any institute gets good teaching learning methodology, they are going to benefit. Otherwise, they are going to fade away. So answer to your point of that higher education learning system, they are providing ODL and online, already provided 20% by AICTE. Slowly they are going to provide. That is why teachers, it is a challenge to make them to come to class. That is why blended learning is going to be future, flipped classroom, all this new. They are not new. Earlier Gurukula system, it is there, but they are reinventing that in a new digital platform. That's all. That is what I think to some extent I can answer.
Yes, sir. Very nice, sir. Very nice, sir.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes, if nothing is there, shall I close?
Yes, sir. Kiran Kumar, sir, you can go proceed with the vote of thanks.
Yes, sir. Finally, I very much thankful to you, R.V. Suresh Kumar, sir, Dr. R.V. Suresh Kumar, garu. And I have to thank my principal, sir, Dr. R.V. Krishnaya, sir, and the director, Sri Mastanai garu, for inviting R.V. Suresh Kumar, such a legend, to all of us. I thank R.V. Krishnaya, sir, and director Mastanai garu. And right, sir, R.V. Suresh Kumar, sir, as you told us, that faculty, as a member of faculty group, we assure you, sir, we now understood the importance of teaching the community of as community of faculty member. We observe the new things and we work hard to adopt to the new challenges, sir. We try our level best to adopt the new challenges. And students, definitely, as you said, they are going to get great benefits, sir. Great benefit. Even after 18 years, you can work, you can study for 1 year. And after completing of 19 years of education, he can do a job for 1 or 2 years, and he can earn some money, and he can come back to education for 1 or 2 more years, like that. So students will have a great benefit. And now I thank one and all. I thank all the participants for careful listening for this 1.5 hour or 2 hours. I thank all students community also. Hope you got more benefited by R.V. Suresh Kumar, sir. Thank you one and all.
Thank you all, and thank you Mastanai garu, thank you Krishnaya garu, thank you principal and all organizers. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you one and all.
Thank you,
Thanks.
sir.